Nibingelela babukela emakhaya kanti nibingelela ngoMbali wakaSimelane uMnguni Mpembe Levels Mqhawana, and this is Mind Over Matter. Mbukele lolu hlelo lapho khona sikhuluma indaba edimqoka kakhulu, indaba ethinta mina, indaba ethinta nawe lapho ekhaya. Good thing about the show ukuthi ke mbukele angihambi ngedfana. We always have an expert on the show. Lo sita with the topics that we usually talk about. Today we have our brother, he's back on the show. Ngikhuluma ngaye Phinda Dlamini, who is our clinical psychologist. Dr. Sita enzabe namhla tobe sikhulumisa. Welcome back. And what to say, brother? You are part of the furniture now. I cannot even say you are a guest. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Yes, I mean, namhla sikhuluma about substance abuse. I know it's broad, but can you just break it down? When we are talking about substance abuse, what are we really talking about?
Thank you, Mbali. Nekuvusela kubabukela emakhaya. When we are talking about substance abuse, I think the number one thing for me is that everybody, maybe a number of people are using substances, right?
Yes.
But once that's abuse, now we are trying to say the substances are now causing the person not to function in certain areas. So, onke ma mental health disorders, usually kuthiwa now there should be a significant disturbance in functioning. So you can use substances, but you can't see a functioning, right? You are not disturbed. And in order for us to diagnose you with maybe substance use disorder, usually says maybe period in 1 year behavior kanjani. But let's start to say banal disorder, could see onke actions are now there more about getting that substance like by 70 side. Could be cannabis, it could be alcohol. So everything that they're doing now is more about getting the substance. So that's why you say, oh, now this person is having this condition. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about that condition. Probably, let's just say we are together.
Sure.
Right now, let's talk about alcohol just for now. We're having 5 drinks, me and you. Having 5 drinks, you're having 5, I'm also having 5. And for now, when are we calling it an abuse or a disorder? So we're saying again, so saying every day, when do we really call it a disorder, just in simpler terms?
Is when you say now you can't really function without using that substance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If you can't function without it, then it's now a disorder.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah. I heard there's another word that you used when we were just having a conversation, neuroscience. When we're talking about that part now, it's Kulmisa Pinza.
So here we are really talking about how then does this maybe affect our brains, right? Because every substance that we use does affect our brain.
Yeah.
So most of the time people will say, why can't this person stop using the substances? Because he can see, I am and maybe in my relationships.
Yes.
But I would like people to know there is something serious that happens here. So I'm just going to break this down. There is what we call a reward system in our brains. Maybe in the chart we have this, that's a here. So we have what we call like a reward system, a reward circuit.
Yes.
So here what happens, we all have this actually, and it's really important for our functioning. And our ancestors were able to escape because of this system. So it activated when there's something and then a person can react after that. Mass substances then activate the very same system. But the difference is that mass substances, they will lead to release of dopamine learning. We need dopamine, right? When we are happy, dopamine is released. But once you start using substances, the release of dopamine will be abnormal, more than the normal, like a dopamine that the person needs. And then what happens after that? You get used to that level of dopamine. So anytime your body is without the substance, dopamine is lower than the normal rate of dopamine. So that's why you can't like without a break, and then he needs the substance again to bring a dopamine back. And so when they would see, as you were saying, 5, the next time you can't do 5 so what can I tolerance? So I 5 give me, it's just basic. So that's 8 more 5. So that dependency even and as a kubega, nalo 7 enough, so that's even more. Even more. So uyaye bese kuyenteka especially lokhu bese kwenta abantu ukuthi babe very very addictive and bangakhodi kwenta ama-serious life decisions. Ukhanza ukuthi umuntu, for example, in big companies la ku-riski khona, ukhanza ukuthi before bangene vele baya-check-a ukuthi okay akwanathi umuntu awunathi akepha ati ukuthi kunesifonyo ekeden, right? Why? Most of the time is because this part of the brain, we call it the frontal cortex. So this part of the brain, especially in the prefrontal cortex, usually is responsible for CSCC, for executive functioning. That means decision making, for judgment, for evaluation. So this part of the brain is affected when you're intoxicated. Look, I function, I call to reason. So look, is the reward system. So you think about taking substances, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. So uhlala reward system nje wena sikhathi esiningi. So ukhanze ukuthi ke umuntu uyathi lo kunama consequences lamaningi, but still he's using the substances.
Ngikuvuthisa igama le addiction because lo munye mhlambe angathi I only drink for a month and now I can't stay without it. Thothi mhlambe wena you started being addicted after years. How does that work? Kushiyana njani ukuthi lo shesha bambi abe addicted lo munye uyaphuta noma kuthiwa you've been drinking for years but solely you connect the controller and mean only a month and already I can't live without?
There are a number of factors here. I think number one loku key ukuthi i-susceptibility to addiction ayifanani. Yes, ngenteka sibe sobabili sinatha the very same amount of maybe alcohol or using the same amount of maybe like drugs, but ukhanze ukuthi wena uyafunction mina ngisakhona ukufunction, right? So kunanakule kunilesithi ku-key kuma-substances that's genetics. So if maybe ku-line yami we were using substances, my grandparents, my dad were using substances, le risk vele iyakhula la ngakimi. Ukhanza ukuthi ku-easy for me ukuthi ngivele ngibe addicted as compared to you. If in your side maybe there was nothing like that, you can say ungahamba lichi without that. And the level of tolerance very ngeke ifana 100%. Ngendeka wena ugrand mina ngisheshe ngishayeke. Yes, yes.
I think you're touching a very important one, but we're going to talk about it just after the break. Mbukeli, you're still watching Mind Over Matter. Signs of substance abuse. Please don't go anywhere. This is a very important one, but a lot is coming just after this. Welcome back, Mbukeli. This is Mind Over Matter. Namhlanje Mbukela ngihambe ngeadvance ngenhlala. Today I have Phinda Dlamini, clinical psychologist, helping us namuhla endzabeni sikhulumisako endzaba substance abuse. Because before in for an end break, uthinzela endzaba I wanted to touch something else, but before ngifuna siqhetsele na endzaba uthinze endzaba ukuthi lesinye isikhathi kuyendeka ukuthi mhlambe it's something lesemndenini. You're not just, abusing the substance, but because I know leminye imindeni uyive bathi ha ngiyabekisa babukela emakhaya bathi hawumbali ufute wafuta mkhulu and thothi angimathi namkhulu but ngalendlela lengiabuse ngayo lama drugs noma ke alcohol sebangifananisa na someone else. So ngicophinza ukuchazela leyo part le ukuthi lesinye isikhathi kuyendeka ukuthi usuke kwendeka emndenini.
Yeah, most of the time, my mental health disorders are genetic most of the time.
Oh, okay.
And if kuline yakho somebody was using the substances, risk yakho is cool as compared to somebody like family whereby nobody was using substances. So most of the time, every time actually, when we use substances, kuba khona lama changes laba khona our brain chemistry, if I can put it like that. And those changes definitely are gonna affect my genes and my changes brain structure. And those changes could be like transmitted, like could be sent to the next generation, right? So ukanzo see generation ahead of you, there was somebody who was using substances. And there maybe began 70s, right? But if your granddad or grandma was using substances, very risky language say to cool. So sometimes you can't say endeka ngitala ning4 but munye wenu seyawasebenzisa maybe the ning3 maybe anwasebenzisa i-risk most likely iyafana nake nonke but bese kuba khona lama factors that then come to play. I think sike sakhuluma ukuthi labanye i-environment yabo nje ukuthi kumbe bakuphi vele lama substances maningi around me yet nale risk like iminkulu vele mase kubhicene konke kutaphuma in and because labanye bakhotile ke bona kwenda ama life decisions laba distance abo vele from such spaces. Yes.
Yeah, thank you for that. Kusho that whatever I do today can affect the next generation and the next generation.
Definitely.
So we're talking about next generation, or rather talking about families. When it comes to the relationship, what is the relationship between substance abuse and trauma?
Yeah, I remember one psychiatrist once said most of the time people who use substances have had 1 or 2, 3 traumatic experiences. And I believe that's true, mainly because what trauma does, it usually tells me that, okay, maybe I'm not important, maybe I'm not good enough. So what trauma does, it creates the void, it creates emptiness. And usually what helps with that is usually pleasure. And as as I was showing you this chart, dopamine is usually released when we are happy, right? Yes. So substances will lead to a release of dopamine and endorphins. So usually my endorphins are hug hormones. So when we are happy in a relationship, those hormones are released. So if I've been traumatized, chances are high, which maybe I'm not used to a good release of these hormones. And then now when I use substances, those hormones are gonna be released, and I'm gonna be like, oh, it's my first time feeling this. So then it's gonna be easy for me to be addicted. And another connection lapa is actually most of the time, when I'm using substances, I'm trying to make myself a bit happy. I'm trying to fill a gap or a void. Right? So anytime I use substances, I feel okay, I feel happy, I feel excited. And remember, some substances will lead to these feelings of euphoria. So I'm happy and I'm functioning when I'm using substances. So each trauma does lead to addiction. It's not only my substances, it could be any other forms of addiction, but it does lead to addiction. Yes.
So in your line of work, before we even get to the next question, in line of work, do you ever get a person that walks in, I'd say, I think I have a problem with substance abuse, noma ufika ngalobunye, and then you discover as you have a conversation, what to know, the reason why you are here, you have trauma, and that is why you are even doing this. No, but I'm dealing with this, that's why now I'm here.
Most of the time they will come I think I'm using substances more than I would like to. Most of the time they come with that. And then it's my responsibility to then look deeper and say what's really happening here, because sometimes I say the abuse is just a symptom of something bigger that's happening underneath, right? So if you stay now on the surface, concentrate on the substance abuse, you might miss out a lot of things, and you might find that the person will relapse, mainly because you didn't really heal the person, you just helped the person cope. So it's important to dive deeper and look for the reasons, like why are you really using substances, right? And I'm sorry to say, Emma males who can't see they run to substances if they are having like heavy emotional feelings. Ladies, they do try to run to other people, at least for comfort and support. But my males are cool see seven substances. So it's very important. Now, my colleagues, let's dive deeper to the traumatic experiences that the person has been through. And most of the time, if you help the person heal from traumatic experiences, I believe it's going to be easy to now address the substance use disorder. But while you might find that the person will keep on coming back and back and back because you are relapse over and over.
Because the risk factors that could increase in the substance abuse,
Well, I think yokuqala sesiyithinzile vele history yasekhaya and number 2 ne-environment. Environment i-serious kakhulu. For example, if ukhulele nje kuma-surroundings lapho vele kunama-substances khona. If your parents were modeling that, say your dad or your mom is using substances embi kwakho, noma usesemncane kangakanani because umntwana uqala kubona kubo even like before abena 3, so uyaqala uyaphika. And one thing the key here is that kids bafunza kakhulu through behaviors than through like being told do this, don't do this. So if you are a parent, you are modeling it's okay to drink, it's okay to smoke, and you are telling them not to do that. Well, trust me, 5 or I don't know in how many years they will start doing that as well. So here, low kakhulu is the issue of modeling. So the environment can be a really serious factor here. And for example, now see kuma holidays, ukhanza ukuthi batali bathi hayi it's okay lamhla vele lamhla bucithiwe, right? Wonke umuntu unelibhodlela lakhe. Yini abantwana labana bo 13 ukhanza ukuthi nabo sekunormal ukuthi nje angaphatha ibhodlela lakhe atinathele, yet we are saying like i-risk factor lenkulu kakhulu. So i-environment really counts a lot. And the history nje yomuntu ukuthi ususceptible kangakanani kuma-substances really counts a lot. Each generation counts a lot. So siyayisitha swabo onke lama-risk factors langu. If kukhona lesingakulimita, let's try to do that.
Thank you so much, Ngozi. Mbukeli, you're still watching Mind Over Matter. Solo senenjalo sikhulumisana sabantu imgcoka ehlelweni. Nesiqiniseko sokuthi awuyinzawo. A lot is coming just after this. Welcome back, Mbukeli. You're still watching Mind Over Matter. Angihambi ngedwa ngembole njengoba ngishido ukuthi ihlelo luhle ngalo ukuthi siba ne-expert on the show lo sit down ngama-topics ethu. For namhla ke besikhulumisa indaba ye-substance abuse and he's helping us a lot. Ngikhuluma ngayo Mlangeni Phinda okaDlamini, who's a clinical psychologist. But before we end for an air break, siphinde sayithenzanyana indaba ye-festive season because it's a happy season. Everyone is too happy. It's others basically say baba singing will happiness. Let's celebrate around the season. When I talk about substance abuse and this season, what can you say? Words of motivation and mavinje and when abavus babe on the lookout because lo munye kendeka athi mina besolonga nathi ngaqala ngakhismusi wa 2019.
Well, thank you for that one, Bale. Yeah, esikhathini esiningi uyakwazi abantu vele baqala kusebenzisa ama-substances when something big is happening. Labanye kumbe i-party, labanye kumbe bukhisimusi, umnyaka lomusha, and then they start using substances. And ukhanze ukuthi sekubala lukhuni lokhu sibe bayekele because khanze usingenteka vele le risk lo muyalo umuntu beyisedulu. Wasimakaqala kwavele kwachubeka kwaye phambili. Yabona. So kakhulu siye sikucele lapha ukuthi bantu abangathatheki kalula ukuthi festive season sesinatha nje you are like reckless. If boti nathela chubeka wende njengoba bowenda, if boti nathela linye emabili ngelanga chubeka kanjalo ukuthi lokushintshile akabaleki January na February tabe so akhona. So
Bathela yini lebese kwenda Mbali abe too excited around this time ukuthi nje ubusho ukuthi nangabe nginatha linye yini bese seyangishintsha around this time of the year lengena ukuthi sengifuna abo 5 sengifuna abo 10.
We are social beings. So most of the time ukhanza ukuthi we spend my holidays very like outside there with other human beings. And well, if sibanengi definitely we're gonna take more than we usually do. So we are social beings and we are all influenced by what others are doing next to us. So if I see Mbali taking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm gonna feel like, oh, okay, I can also do that. Nale mood like it changes, everybody's excited and people are just going AWOL. So yeah, we are social beings. I think in a nutshell I can just say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because can we touch those parts in the withdrawal symptoms?
Oh yeah. Maybe before we touch on that, I also want to touch a little bit on this part. You could see baba exposed to maybe alcohol, especially on my holiday, and after December, and then. But trust me, if you are giving a kid that, and with the hope to start lapho. Yes, and one key thing with a brain, adolescence, is that it's not yet fully developed. We usually say maybe brain fully develops at least when somebody's 30 years old. So if you are giving substances to a minor, definitely the brain is not yet fully developed, which means it's easy then for the brain to shift, especially the chemistry side of the brain. It's easy then for the person to develop a dependency, go dopamine, the release of substances. And then it's going to be hard from that. And the brain in my adolescence is very sensitive. It means it can pick things very fast and it can be addictive very fast as compared to a fully developed brain. So siyacela bantwana singabanike ama substances nyalo noma besijabulile noma kwendekeni, please let's avoid that.
Yeah.
Yes. And coming to the part yema withdrawal, yes, withdrawal symptoms. So sometimes you find that a person is trying to maybe stop using substances, but anytime he or she tries, he develops serious symptoms. Most of the time, Kanza would see the person who develops traumas, tremors, sleep disorders, mood swings, anxiety. So a lot of symptoms because now the brain is no longer having the thing that has been driving it. So esikhathini esiningi we Kanza would see now the person needs the very same substances to help from the withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah.
So that's how then the loop igcine yakheka. So ekuqaleni ngicela kusho lana masasebenzisa the substances, masakhuluma nga substance use, usually the goal is pleasure.
Yeah.
But masasikhuluma ngama withdrawal symptoms, usually now the goal is to, maybe I would say like, is to help yourself from the pain of lama withdrawal symptoms. So kuqala is a pleasure, but now since you are stuck, now it's more of like a pain relief thing. So kanza ukuthi sekwendeka le cycle le kanjena. And you find that somebody maybe who has been without like substances for a year, 2 or 3, is relapsing. It's easy to relapse if you have been using substances. So kakhulu vele sithi have a support system less strong if you want to stop substances, and have a community less strong if you want to stop using substances.
What usually makes them relapse? And because if they've worked so hard, njengoba ukuthi lo munye uba clean probably for 3 years, 4 years, bese ke so relapse after that. Is it the problems labandlula kuto, or is the environment again that you were talking about?
Maybe number one, kule biology of the brain. Number one, I'll say, number one is mainly because lama shift lendekayo in the dopamine level, they stay for scarcely seeds. So when you were using substances maybe 2-3 years back, but you can also see the brain hasn't really adjusted to the normal level of dopamine. Let's say now if you are not using substances. So you can't let risk very so the corner. The brain is still there. It's okay, because one thing there is this other part of the brain, what we call the midbrain, is responsible for memories. So if substances are making me happy, the mid part of the brain will create memories. Oh, if I use these substances, I'm happy. So that memory, that connection. So when they are 5-3 years, you are not using substances, but the memory said because when I'm sad, this is my go-to. When I'm depressed, this is my go-to. When I'm anxious, this is my go-to. It's really hard to break that connection. It's really hard. And sometimes for others, of course, it's an association. You find that you are trying to stop using substances, but you are still hanging around your friends who are using substances. You know your risk is very high. So don't be around the people who are still using substances. So the association is also very key. The environment is also very key. The places you visit is also like a crucial thing to think about. Yes.
Because I'm always about healing and finding a solution at the end of the day. So, probably I know someone or have a child briefly, I mean, what can they do? Can they just change environments? Right? No matter they need to visit a clinical psychologist. No matter what must happen so that we get to a point where we say we want things to happen in order according.
For some, they need to be admitted to rehab centers, unfortunately, and maybe going to do a lot of things there, but the talks without maybe that in their system. For some, it has gone to that extent. But my families is just support, and let's not push the person away. Let's not be judgmental. Let's not criticize them. Let's support them, because the more we push them away, the more we're going to lose them.
Yes, very important. The more we push them away, the more we're going to listen.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Lamin. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the information. Isite kakhulu. It's always good to have you on the show. Mbukeli, that was Pinda Lamin. It's about substance abuse. I hope now when Mbukela Peka, you're taking notes. It's very important for us to know things like this, especially with kids around and also with the festive season around the corner. Kumele sithi lungiselele. Kanti-ke Mbukeli, sesifemaphethelweni. Mina ke ngibali ngwakasemelane umnguni impembe. There's Mchawane and the rest of the amazing team. Sithi sisale kahle. We love you.